There was some disapproval of me playing Gandalf because I was a gay man. Oh, Gandalf isn't interested in sex. He's 7,000 years old. He's got over sex long ago.
No one in Hollywood was expecting just how big that was going to become. How did they make you buy into their vision?
So they came round to my house, like a couple of hobbits, actually. But I'm not sure that Peter Jackson was even wearing shoes. He never does in New Zealand. I had read The Hobbit, but I hadn't graduated onto the great book, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings took off in America rather than England first. And they sat on my sofa and they showed me some designs and they talked about the story. And rather grandly, I said, well, let me read the script. Oh, dear.
Fly, you fools!
I wasn't mad keen. It was a year living in New Zealand, a place I'd always wanted to visit. I'd heard how beautiful it was. A year away from home, on a script that wasn't quite complete, based on books that I didn't know about. It wasn't the huge, big, chance of a lifetime that it turned out to be.
You shall not pass!
A number of stories involved in how I very nearly couldn't do it because initially I was asked by Tom Cruise to be in the Mission Impossible 2 and they would only show me a part of one scene. I couldn't read the whole script in case I told people. So I said, I'm sorry, I can't be in your film because I don't know what it is. And my agent said, you're turning down the chance to work with Tom Cruise? I said, well, I don't know if it is a chance. Well, I did. That movie delayed and delayed and delayed. Tony Hopkins played my part. And if I'd contracted myself to do that, I wouldn't have been able to do X-Men, and I wouldn't have been able to do Lord of the Rings.
What are you doing?
There it is. Too much iron in your blood. I'd agreed to do X-Men first with Brian, and he told me that his dates had slipped, so that I now couldn't arrive in New Zealand on time to do Gandalf. So I had to call up Peter Jackson and say, sorry, I'm not doing it because I promised to work in the other film first. He said, well, I'll keep it open for a bit. And that night I was in Sheiky's restaurant in London having a fish supper, and Bob Shea came in. I didn't know him. He put his hands on my shoulder and said, looking forward to working with you. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I've got to do X-Men. He said, leave it to me. Well, an arrangement was made, and Brian, bless his heart, Brian Singer couldn't put it in writing, but he said to me, hand on heart, I will make sure that you're ready if they can just slip their dates a little bit, and they did. And he finished me on time, and I started work on the first week of the millennium. The internet had just been invented. Begin to communicate with people who you would never meet. And I used to send a regular diary from the set, as did Peter. And together we invented blogging.
Congratulations.
It had not been done before. I called it e-posts. Didn't catch on. Blogging. There was some disapproval of me playing Gandalf because I was a gay man. How pathetic. I mean, Gandalf isn't interested in sex. He's 7,000 years old. He's got over sex long ago.
Prepare for battle!
By the time the first film came out and we went back to New Zealand to do pickups on the second and then third films, we knew there were millions of people who couldn't wait for the films that were yet to come. And it's a very, very unusual situation to be in, to be making a film that you know is going to make an awful lot of money because the audience will definitely turn up to see it. A strange, strange feeling. I still haven't quite got over it. I don't feel I can take any credit for the success of those films. I did my part. Of course, that's the nature of films, isn't it? I mean, thousands of people are responsible.